Welcome to this video on the clothing system I use for 3-season backpacking in California. In the description you'll find links to all of the clothing items I discuss. Some quick housekeeping. I am not, at the time I am making this video, an affiliate of any of these clothing manufacturers or retailers. I am, however, an avid hiker and backpacker, and have spent countless hours and miles on trail fine-tuning my system. My intention is to help point you towards gear to help make your trips safe, efficient, comfortable, and worry-free. My clothing system is based on the Andrew Skirka Core 13 principle, which is also linked below, and is intended to be lightweight and adaptable to match the conditions along the course of a full-length backpacking trip with its changing and often unpredictable weather. Hiking is a high-output activity which requires specialized gear that wicks moisture away from the body while also protecting me against the elements. Speaking of elements, they are the first consideration when planning my clothing for an outdoor adventure. I consider not only the temperature, but also the wind, precipitation, sun exposure, and insect pressure I'm likely to face on my trip. That said, a backpacking trip doesn't only include hiking. It also includes rest, both in the form of camping and simply stopping to have a snack or to admire the view. Therefore, I must choose the right clothing to handle both high output and low output activities. The answer? Layering. Layering allows me to regulate temperature based on how much protection I need from rain, snow, sun, or bugs, and by how much heat my body is generating, whether I'm in camp or hiking. So what I'm going to do is to think of my clothing as a modular system that has options that I can choose based on the needs of an individual trip. My Go suit is my regular next-to-skin hiking layer. I wear this the entire time I'm hiking and, depending on the circumstances, sometimes in camp or even while sleeping if it isn't wet. I have two go-to torso coverings depending on the situation. Because I usually need plenty of sun coverage and don't like to fuss with sunblock, I don't wear a short sleeve shirt. So these are both long sleeve options with slight differences in their benefits and drawbacks. My first option is a sun hoodie. Now, my sun hoodie is for when I need protection from the sun, obviously, which is most of the time. If I'm hiking above tree line or in burn areas when there's constant sun overhead in Southern California, this is the least complicated way for me to stay protected from the sun, which is my number one priority. There are a few situations where I don't necessarily like to use the sun hoodie, however. When inclement weather is called for and I might need to switch in and out of layers, or when I might need a bit less sun protection but still want to be able to vent heat, my long sleeve collared base layer becomes my go-to shirt. My long sleeve base layer isn't as effective at keeping the sun off my skin, though there are other ways to accomplish that, which we'll discuss later. This layer has a zip neck, which allows me to regulate temperature very well, and it's also made of a woven fabric that gives me better protection if the bug pressure is high. I do treat it with permethrin just to give a little added layer of protection, however. I wear running shorts for the vast majority of my 3-season hiking. Shorts have many advantages over pants, including superior ventilation, increased mobility, and their ability not just to wick sweat, but also to shed any moisture they encounter. I love hiking in shorts so much that I will often wear them well past when it's reasonable to do so, as I do generate a lot of lower body heat when I'm hiking. I don't like hiking in pants, but for trips that are deep into shoulder season when the temperatures are cooler, or if I need additional protection either from brush or heavy insect activity, that's when I'll switch to pants. It took me a long time to find pants that I liked. I tried all of the popular brands, but I recently discovered these, and so far I've been really happy. If I expect heavy bug pressure, I'll take the extra step of spraying these with permethrin as well. While my running shorts have brief liners, if I'm wearing pants, obviously they don't, so I need to also pack underwear. For that, the single most important thing for me is that they shed moisture, and these are the best I've found for that. They also don't limit mobility, and they have a front door so that I don't have to hassle with them if I have to step off trail to relieve myself. Though a fleece top may be adequate insulation for the warmer summer months, it is less thermally efficient than a down jacket, so I consider fleece to be an active layer, not a stop piece. I will often hike in it in the morning or if the temperature is low. I might wear it under a shell or for additional warmth in camp as well. Stop layers are exactly what they sound like. These are the articles of clothing to be worn anytime my body is inactive, whether that's in camp or during a break. The emphasis here is on staying comfortable and protected when my body is not actually generating heat from hiking. If the weather is cool, I will bring a down puffy jacket on my hikes to wear both during midday rest stops and during cold nights in camp. I like this jacket because it's incredibly light for its warmth, and that is my only concern. I neither need nor want a lot of bells and whistles in a down jacket, as any sort of fleece lining, drawstring, or panels will add weight without really improving the performance of the jacket, in my opinion. I was fortunate enough to get this one in my absolute favorite color, whatever's on sale. If I'm deep in shoulder season and expecting cold nights, I will either wear a pair of fleece-lined pants to both hike in and wear in camp, or I'll pack running tights. I have never carried down pants because down gear is expensive, and I've camped in temperatures in the high 20s to low 30s without feeling like I needed any more protection than a pair of running tights affords me. My legs heat up really fast when I'm hiking, so I'll generally wear shorts as my active layer and put the tights on when I get to camp. Even on trips when absolutely no rain is expected, which is most of them in California, I pack a lightweight rain shell that I can also wear as a wind shirt. Summer hikes in the Sierras often mean quick afternoon showers, which this is perfect for, because by the time the jacket wets out, the storm will almost always have already moved on. It can also be appropriate on a summit. If you followed my Trans-Catalina trail hike, you know that my Helium 2 jacket doesn't stand a chance against really heavy weather before wetting out. So that's when I'll pack something a bit sturdier. This shell can handle much more moisture before wetting out and also allows for better venting. That said, if I were expecting both rain and humidity, I would probably skip the shell entirely and opt to carry an umbrella instead. As I mentioned earlier, I don't like hiking in pants if I can avoid it, and my go-to choice for an active bottom is quick-drying running shorts. That said, I do have a pair of wind pants that I've treated with DWR spray that I'll carry if the rain is expected to be unrelenting. I can also use these pants as a dry weather choice in camp if it's going to be breezy, but not cold enough for running tights or fleece-lined pants. I do carry sleep clothes when I backpack. Putting on clean clothing, which I only wear for that purpose at the end of the day, serves to keep my quilt and sleeping pad clean, while also giving me a fresh, clean feeling that makes it easier to go to sleep. In addition, it allows my go suit to dry out so that I'm not hiking on a cold morning with any moisture, either from sweat or from condensation. I will occasionally skip this if I really want to go light and fast, but I almost always regret it when I do. I won't lie, the major benefit of this shirt is that I already owned it. I don't love my sleep shirt, but it does its job, and I just don't want to invest money here to upgrade. The shirt's pretty light, and it feels nice on my skin. I fall asleep easily in it, so I guess there's no rush to find anything new. It doesn't seem like a good place to spend effort or money to find something better. I have a few different options for sleep bottoms. If I'm already bringing my wind pants, I'll often sleep in those, or in my underwear if I'm hiking in pants. Usually, however, I sleep in a pair of dedicated sleep shorts. I used to bring along old gym shorts, but I like these because they're comfortable to wear in camp and they're quick drying. If I'm camping near water and I want to take a dip before dinner, they'll be dry enough to sleep in my quilt by the time I go to bed. For my primary headwear, I have two options depending on the shirt I'm wearing. If I'm wearing my sun hoodie, I will pair that with a regular trucker cap. I like having the mesh backing to increase ventilation, and the bill holds up the hood of my shirt or any of my supporting layers, such as my wind shell or my fleece, better than anything. If, however, I'm wearing my zip neck, I need my hat to make up the difference in sun protection, so I prefer a hat with a cape. The cape can be kind of a pain if I need to put on a hood, either on my rain jacket or down hoodie or whatever, but I can detach it from the body of the cap to avoid that problem. I wear prescription glasses, so I typically wear sunglasses during the day and switch into regular non-tinted glasses at night. This means carrying a durable plastic case, which adds to my weight, so I'm experimenting this year both with transition lenses and with a simple pair of clip-on sunglasses. If you follow my videos through the rest of the summer, you might see me switching in and out of those. I'll report back at some point to let you know what I thought. I know that's a really exciting thing for you to look forward to. Over the years, I've tried multiple ways to save weight on a beanie, and I've had miserable results every single time. So now I really just prefer to hike with a real beanie, and I like it so much more that it's easy to ignore the weight penalty. Though obviously a head net is best if you expect a lot of bug pressure, I bring this on basically any trip. It just weighs so little, and I would rather have it and not need it than vice versa. I like Ultra Lone Peaks for their wide, foot-shaped toe box. A lot of people warned me that switching to a zero-drop shoe could be problematic, but my body already had so many problems that I guess it blended right in. These handle my gaiters really well, and the outsole gives me plenty of grip. I've had a few generations of Lone Peaks now, and so far I've been pretty impressed. Like a lot of hikers and backpackers, I really like Darn Tough socks. They're durable and they have a terrific guarantee. Problem is they border on having just a bit too much padding. So after one too many times getting hot spots wearing them, I switched to Cloudline, and that seems to have fixed the problem, at least for now. Cloudline offers a lifetime guarantee on their socks similar to Darn Tough's, but I have yet to need to test it out, so I can't speak to its veracity. In addition, I may actually experiment this year with thin nylon dress socks on the trail. I suspect that their reduced volume will help greatly. I love gaiters. Gaiters keep debris out of my shoes and also help to keep my socks clean. I use Dirty Girl gaiters. They are made of a stretchy fabric that I really like. Their designs are a lot of fun. I like the company, and they attach and detach easily with my shoes, which is important to me. So let's go Dirty Girl. At home, I don't like to sleep with socks on my feet. Even on the coldest backpacking trips, my fully sewn foot box is usually enough to keep me warm. I will wear my spare socks if I need to, and on longer trips where my recovery becomes quite a bit more important, I will bring compression socks to sleep in. I wear sun gloves as part of my go suit, as they do keep my hands from sunburn. I switched to these particular gloves this year primarily because of their longer cuff. I often wear a watch when I go backpacking. I don't use it for any sort of navigation or non-timekeeping function, so it's outside of the purview of this video, but I do wear it. The long cuff on the Islamorada allows me to wear my watch over it, with no gaps between the glove and my shirt for me to get a tan line or burn, which was a frequent problem on my last glove. Plus, these gloves give good coverage over the knuckles for a fingerless glove, but they don't limit the dexterity. They're breathable and they help protect my palm against abrasions as well. A key addition to any cold weather hike, these are the ultimate stop piece for my hands. The hair of the brushtail possum is hollow like a polar bear's, which makes it both water resistant and extremely efficient at retaining heat. These gloves are a brushtail possum merino wool mix, and they work really great as a base layer glove. They also have conductive ends on the index finger and thumb, so using a touch screen such as my camera or my phone is relatively easy. Rain mitts are sort of the storm layer for my hands. These particular mitts are a bit oversized, but I like how breathable they are, and they're really, really light. They have an elastic wrist that fits nicely under my jacket sleeves, so my whole storm system works pretty efficiently, and they also allow me to use a touch screen similar to my regular gloves. So now that I've talked about the items in my backpacking kit, let's look at an example trip. Let's say I'm going on a 3-night, 4-day backpacking trip in Los Padres National Forest in March. I'll be hiking 8 to 12 miles a day, and the temperatures are expected to be in the mid-60s throughout the day and down to 30 degrees at night. There is a slight chance of rain on 2 of the days. The tree coverage will be good without too much sun exposure, and we're pretty much outside of insect season, so that's not a concern. For this trip, I would bring my zip neck base layer, running shorts, and fleece. Mid-60s is good shorts weather for me, and when I got to camp I would add my running tights and down hoodie, which I would then also wear as a sleep layer. I would hike the following morning in my tights until I warmed up as well. I would bring gloves, but no rain gear other than my wind shell. The Because the days are relatively short, so recovery isn't a huge concern, I'd leave the compression socks at home. I hope this helps you understand how I use the conditions of a trip to plan which clothing items I bring along, and I hope this video gives you some insight into how I plan my clothing system. If you got value out of the video, I would love if you would give me a thumbs up, as it does help the channel, and hey, let's do this again sometime.